you want to save the detail in there. So you just want a little bit of blur in there. So you don't want to add too much. You don't want to make them look smeared or anything like that. So just a little bit on there. And same with the other ones. You can do other things. You can duplicate this layer and maybe do a lighten for this one and do a vector blur on this one. See vector blur. Don't be afraid to try different things on this one. Let's get rid of the motion blur on this one, and we'll turn vector blur up just to make these clouds soft, and play with the settings a little bit on this. Go with alpha maybe on this one. Alright, and we're basically adding a little bit more thickness to it, and it just gives a cooler look. So you can see, and you're adding them to the clouds. You're adding like another section to the clouds there, and it softens some of the edges up. It just gives it a different look. So don't be afraid to experiment with that. Maybe do a luminancy or lighten. Probably lighten. Like that. You can do all those kind of little things. All those little things might actually help. Add maybe the motion blur to that one also. And you can also add another one. Duplicate. And do this one as color. And then you can tweak the colors. Have even another layer, but just with different colors on it. So go to color correction, levels, and just start. So you have a whole another level of clouds in there if you want to add certain colors to it, just to give, just to make it look different. Just don't be afraid to mess with all that stuff, See, it looks like the sun's coming from a certain angle there, and so you just gotta toy around with the colors and try adding extra layers to it. Alright, so then, that's just giving you ideas of what you can do. Or just, go ahead and just leave the one layer and tweak the colors on that layer. But, that's one thing you can do. Also the sky, you can change the sky, go in there and play with the colors on the sky level. It'll make your clouds look different, so it'll bring more of the wispy ones in if you tweak the colors. You see, that's why I said it all depends on the colors you choose, how these wispy ones are going to look in the end. So, and that's why I say it's good to have After Effects, because you can come in here and tweak all this stuff. Maybe kill some of the red. See, I mean, you can really get much better looks, being that we can get into After Effects and do all this stuff later on. Alright, so now we got that, and you can also do another thing, to get even a better look, is play with stretch the sky out a little bit, because it changes the look of everything. You reverse the sky. And if you reverse it, you have to, if you get it where you want it, you also have to reverse it this way so it lines up, so your angle lines up. You can move it underneath, so you have to stretch it, see how the light from the sky goes underneath and gives it just a completely different look to your clouds. You can go like this and stretch it up more. I mean, just look at all the different looks you're getting just by playing with the sky color. So it's really cool to be able to, you know, have After Effects to come in here later and do that. And now we got a completely different sky just by doing that. You know, because it brings in these here, which we may have to tweak now, but it brings them in more now. So, you know, or just eliminate them altogether if they're particular type of clouds that you chose just don't look right with the wispy clouds, then you just get rid of them. You know, but I like having them. Maybe not with the vector blur on this particular one. Even that, I may just take them and soften them with a regular blur. So, you know, I've had multiple ways of doing it for the wispiness, but it just depends on the type of clouds. You know, if there's sometimes the clouds are too big and too textury, it just doesn't work right. So you may just want to soften them like that, and then maybe add a motion blur, add directional blur. Directional blur to it, like that. You know, just to stretch them, because you want them stretched. You don't want any real texture to them. You just want them to have some kind of a shape. And of course you don't want to be able to see them that much. So I'll pause that and we'll see how that looks. Alright, so there you go. You know, we had the wispy clouds. They're coming in a little fast here, just by our particular speed. You know, you can't slow them down unless you slow the other ones down, because these have to line up. They have to line up with them. So you may want to just tweak them to where they're faded. You know, they're only coming in from the back here with this particular one. So you can also move them, of course. Stretch them, which is this one here. So, you know, you can stretch these, because these are just the upper clouds here. So, you know, have them fade off or whatever. You know, it's just pretty cool to be able to do, you know, all this in After Effects. After you know, you get one thing, you don't have to re-render it all, and you can come up with a whole new look. But like I said, you just got to play with the thing and until you get it to look right. But it's not that hard. It looked good numerous times. Yeah, that looks much better. See, we cut off the tops of it a little bit, and you know, since we stretched it, that looks much better. It's a much better flow now. So I'll go ahead and I'll preview that one. Yeah, that's much better. So now the clouds, we cut off the top here, so now they're coming in the way I want them to. They're not popping or anything. Alright, so that, you know, that basically gives you the idea of what I'm trying to do. You know, you can play with the colors, do all that stuff however you want it. After you're done, you want to slow everything down, speed it up even more without having to re-render it. Just go ahead and pre-comp all these layers and do a time remap to it, to that pre-comp. Just, you know, go to layer, pre-comp, and then when you get that in there, pre-comp, move all attributes to it. Then you just do time remap, and you'll be able to slow it down. And you know, however you want to do slow motion. I use this. That's what I was going to show you. Anyways, I use Twixtor to do mine. So, you know, you can do time remap. Use the time warp, and I believe that's similar to how. I think the time warp's the one that's similar to the Twixtor one. But you know, just slow it down however you want to slow it down, and that's pretty much it. You know, so you know, I just like being able to play with the colors and, you know, the sky and all that. That's pretty neat just to see how it you know, how it can change everything just by moving the horizon around and stuff. How the clouds look completely different without having to re-render that. So guess that's it. Can't really think of any. I showed you